attention to what adults do or the way they act, not what they say. So be prepared to follow through on whatever expectations you have out of your child. If you need a minute to compose yourself before you can deal with the child, please feel free to take that minute. You need to be composed. It's very important. It's very difficult to be agitated in your voice and to be angry and expect your child to compose himself. Yelling, being sarcastic or disrespectful back at a child is not the same as a child yelling or being disrespectful and sarcastic to an adult. The child does not learn anything, and as an adult you may feel momentarily better, but nothing has been solved. So it's important for parents to figure out in advance what they're going to do when the child is disrespectful. You need to be prepared. You need to have an action plan. Prepare beforehand. Prepare yourself. You can't be going up to the child and saying, calm down, calm down. You need to calm down. Take a minute. First calm yourself down and then go to the child and say to your child, you need to calm down. And then disconnect. Walk away. Disengage. You have to do it, the walking away. There are so many things adults need to do and not just merely say. You can't be fighting with your friends and neighbors and expect your child to be passive and non-violent. It is a parent's responsibility to role model whatever behavior they are asking or expecting of their child. So it's not enough to say you want the child to stop doing something. It's important that you role model that also. Children learn more from parents handling their anger appropriately than from those parents who don't get angry at all. When a parent, as a parent, when you state that I'm feeling really angry at you at this moment, and then calmly turn and walk away, that child learns more from that behavior of yours than from any speech about how to talk to people. So remember to walk your talk and remember to act and not just say. Technique number 10, accept bad moods and bad days. I think it's important to know that your kid does have bad moods and can have bad days. There are bad times of the day as well. Like with some kids, you just can't do any problem solving in the mornings. It's important to accept that and be aware of that. And when you do, it helps cut down on your frustrations and on the fights between the both of you. I think it's important to say to a child that it looks like you're in a bad mood at this time. And why don't we talk, in another 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes? Sometimes after a child has had a tantrum, you can say to your child, seems like you've had a tough day today. Why don't we start afresh? Let's start over. It's important for a child to know that they can always start over and start afresh. A good mechanic has a toolbox. When a particular tool does not work, he takes out another. All these are tools in your box as a parent. Accepting bad moods and bad days is a tool in your toolbox. Now, if your child's football team, for example, loses a match, he is bound to have a bad night. But it does not mean that he's entitled to have a behavioral night. It's equally important that you as a parent must remember that when you have a bad day at office, you cannot afford to take it out on people at home. Let's look at an example of when a kid gets rude and abusive and angry and how you're going to handle it, keeping in mind the parenting techniques we've shared so far. Well, hopefully you would have used scripting it for the next time. And they know that once you say something, it's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 minutes, whatever, goal you set. So if the child is, for example, say in front of the TV, first shut off the TV. Even before you take charge, halt the stimulation. Then you say, I want you to do your homework now, and I will check back with you in half an hour. Then turn around and disengage. Checking back is a very important thing to do. You must check back in every 15 minutes or half an hour. That gives them a sense of accountability. And when I say check back or check in, I don't mean yelling from your bedroom or calling out from the living room or making a phone call and checking. I mean going into their room or wherever they are working and asking them, how's it going? Can I get you something? And so what you're doing is you're supporting the environment that the kid needs to study. If the kid on the other hand says he won't do his homework, don't get into making speeches and giving lectures. Tell him it's his responsibility and he needs to do it now. No telling him how it will help him to become a successful person, and no comparing him with the neighbor's kids, please. You just tell them what their responsibility is. Just focus on the behavior that you want now. I want you to do your homework now. That's it. If he has done a good job earlier in the week, connect him to that. Connect him to that experience of how well he had done, and help him to try for the same tonight. It's also important to play out how they did a good job earlier. Play it out. Highlight the fact that I asked you to finish your homework yesterday and you came in on time, finished what you had to do promptly, and then you watched TV for an hour. It's important to review that and tell them what a great job they had done. In conclusion, remember, no child with a behavior problem becomes an angel overnight. Our program is a sum of many successes. The first success begins with you taking charge for the first time, setting one limit, disengaging, walking away. Just do it once. Instead of screaming and getting things to escalate, just do this. And the moment you take that one small action is the moment you begin the child's change process. And it helps you to transform from a frustrated, helpless parent to the parent your child needs you to be. A word of caution before we end. We all know that behaviors, and especially unacceptable behaviors, are common in children. Before we start rectifying them, we need to be sensitive to the greater context of a child's life. Because nobody, and least of all our young, lives in a vacuum. So it's important to ask yourself the following questions. Does the child get to play outside in nature with friends? Do they have male and female role models who are, good for them? Are they physically healthy? Do they have a nutritious diet and opportunities to run around? Do they feel isolated, or are they a part of a wider social circle? Do they feel loved and safe and cared for? When we work with parents, we ask them to rule all these things out. Sometimes it's the environment that's sick and not the child. So happy parenting. If you want to attend our parenting lab as a parent, a teacher, or a therapist and counselor, or just as anybody who's interested in parenting, you can connect with us, as we have scientific resources and evidence-based tools we can help you with and help you to empower not just yourself but even others. Our toolkit and videos are also available for those who attend our parenting lab. Thank you.